There is a quiet truth about the universe that feels almost unreal the first time you hear it. A truth that sounds like science fiction, and yet it comes directly from the laws of physics themselves. It is the idea that most of the universe is already lost to us, not just unreachable with today's technology, not just distant in a way that makes travel impractical, but permanently, physically disconnected, forever beyond our cosmic horizon. We live inside an expanding universe. Galaxies are drifting away from one another as space itself stretches and grows. And this expansion means something extraordinary. Even if we had starships capable of traveling at close to the speed of light, even if we waited trillions of years, there are regions of the cosmos that we could simply never reach. To understand why, we need to rethink what distance really means on the largest possible scale. Because when we talk about the universe, distance is not just a matter of how far something is. It is also a matter of how much space is growing in between. This story begins with a simple observation. Everywhere we look, galaxies are moving away from us. The farther away they are, the faster they recede. Not because they are flying through space, but because space itself is expanding. And that leads us to a boundary in the cosmos that defines what is truly connected to us and what has already slipped beyond our reach. As the universe expands, light traveling through space becomes stretched, its wavelength growing longer and redder. This is called redshift, and it is one of the main clues that space is expanding in every direction. But expansion does something else as well. It creates a horizon, not a physical wall, and not an edge like the horizon at sea, but a limit in space-time, beyond which events can never influence us, no matter how long we wait. This horizon is not the same thing as the observable universe. The observable universe is the region from which light has had time to reach us since the Big Bang. But the cosmic event horizon is different. It marks the boundary beyond which light emitted today will never reach us in the future, because the space in between is expanding too fast. And that means something profound. Most of the galaxies we can see today are already beyond our reach. Even if we launched a spacecraft right now and accelerated it to nearly the speed of light, there are galaxies whose light we can still observe, but which we could never physically travel to. By the time our ship moved toward them, the space between us would continue to expand, faster than our vessel could ever cross. It is like trying to walk across a river, where the current grows stronger the further you move from shore. No matter how hard you swim, the flow will always carry the far bank away from you, faster than you can cross. Except in this case, the current is not water, it is space-time itself. There is a boundary written into the structure of the universe, a line between what can ever be reached and what is forever separate. This boundary exists because dark energy is accelerating the expansion of space. And as that acceleration continues, the cosmic event horizon becomes the permanent edge of connection. We do not notice any of this locally. The Milky Way is held together by gravity. Our solar system is stable. Earth orbits the sun as it always has. But on scales of millions of light years, expansion dominates. And the further away something is, the faster the fabric of space carries it from us. Right now, only the galaxies of our local group remain gravitationally tied together. The Milky Way, Andromeda, and a scattering of small dwarf galaxies. Everything else is slowly, silently drifting away. In the deep future, these distant galaxies will cross the event horizon and vanish forever from our reach. One day, long beyond human history or memory, future astronomers may look into the sky and see only their own galaxy. Not because the universe has grown smaller, but because the rest has slipped beyond the horizon. And there is something quietly emotional about that thought. We live at a rare moment in cosmic time, a moment when the universe is still visible, when the sky is still full of distant galaxies, when the story of cosmic expansion can still be read in the light that reaches us. And perhaps that makes our existence feel even more meaningful. We often imagine the universe as a place we could one day explore freely, given enough time and technology. But the truth is more subtle and more beautiful. The real boundary is not our machines or our imagination. It is the shape of space-time itself. When we look out into the night sky, we are not just seeing distance, we are seeing time. The farther away a galaxy is, the further back into history its light was emitted. Some of the light that reaches us today began its journey billions of years before Earth even existed. And yet, even though we can still observe these distant galaxies, they are already beyond the horizon of what we could ever reach. Their light is only just catching up to us, while they themselves are being carried farther away by the expanding fabric of the universe. So the observable universe, everything we can detect with telescopes, is larger than the reachable universe. We can see more than we can ever touch. Our cosmic vision extends further than our cosmic influence. Beyond a certain distance, cause and effect are permanently disconnected. This is one of the most profound consequences of cosmic expansion. It means that the universe is divided into countless isolated regions, each one a tiny island of matter, surrounded by an ocean of space that grows wider with every passing moment. Our galaxy is one such island. Inside our island, gravity still rules. Stars orbit one another. Galaxies collide and merge. Over unimaginable timescales, the Milky Way and Andromeda will spiral together to form a single giant galaxy. One last great structure held together against the pull of expansion. But outside our island, expansion wins completely. No signal, no ship, no beam of light will ever cross that growing gulf of space. The universe will continue to accelerate outward like a vast, silent tide that never turns back. In the far future, this leads to a strange and lonely cosmos. Distant galaxies fade first into invisibility, then into physical disconnection. Eventually, every island of matter becomes its own self-contained universe, unaware of the others that once filled the sky. If intelligent life evolves in that distant age, it may look into the night sky and see only nearby stars. No cosmic web, no sign of expansion, no trace of the Big Bang. The universe will appear static and eternal, because all the evidence of its true history will have slipped beyond the horizon. We are fortunate to live in a moment when the cosmos is still readable, when the story of its birth and expansion is still written across the sky, when we can measure the faint glow of ancient light and understand what it means. This is a window in time, and one day it will close. And yet, knowing this does not make the universe feel smaller. If anything, it makes it feel deeper, more mysterious, more layered. Because beyond the horizon, there are still galaxies, still stars, still worlds we will never know. Entire cosmic histories, unfolding forever out of reach. The universe is not defined only by what we can see, but also by what lies permanently beyond our grasp. And somehow, that makes our small corner of reality feel even more precious. As we learn more about the expanding universe, we also learn more about ourselves. We are a small species on a small planet, orbiting an ordinary star in a quiet corner of a single galaxy. And yet somehow, we have discovered that the universe has a horizon. We have measured its size. We have mapped the galaxies within it. We have listened to the faint echo of the Big Bang itself. All of this knowledge comes from light, fragile particles that have crossed unimaginable distances to reach our telescopes here on Earth. Every photon is a messenger from the past. Some began their journey when dinosaurs walked the Earth. Others started traveling long before Earth had formed. And many more began their flight before our sun was even born, carrying with them the story of distant and ancient galaxies. But there is a limit to what these messengers can tell us. Beyond a certain distance, light released today will never reach us, not in 1 trillion years, not ever. Those regions are sealed off, not by walls, but by the accelerating expansion of space-time itself. It is tempting to imagine this horizon as something like the edge of a map, but it is not a border we could ever approach. If we tried to chase it, it would always stay ahead of us, receding faster than we could follow. It is a horizon written into reality. This idea challenges our instincts. We evolved on a planet where distance is simple. If something is far away, you can eventually reach it. Walk long enough, sail far enough, fly fast enough. In space, we imagine the same rule applies, that more power or more time will eventually get us anywhere. But the universe is not an ocean on a planet. It is the planet itself growing larger beneath our feet. And as it expands, some destinations are carried away faster than any traveler could ever move. Distance itself becomes dynamic, stretching, widening, slipping forever beyond our grasp. This realization changes how we think about exploration. Space is not simply vast, it is layered. There is the region we can travel through, the region we can observe but never reach. And beyond that lies the unseen, the part of the universe forever hidden behind the horizon of cosmic expansion. And yet, even knowing this, curiosity remains. We still look outward. We still build better telescopes. We still map the sky with patient precision. Because even if we cannot go everywhere, we can still understand. Knowledge can travel further than any ship. In that sense, the universe has not closed itself to us. It has simply shown us its structure. We live in a cosmos where space grows, where horizons exist, where every galaxy, every star, every planet occupies its own small patch of an ever-expanding whole. And this knowledge brings with it a quiet clarity. We understand that we are temporary observers in a changing universe, that our moment, the era when galaxies still fill the sky, will not last forever, that someday the cosmos will look very different than it does today. But right now, in this fleeting cosmic moment, the universe is still visible, still open to our questions, still filled with light that has traveled across billions of years to reach us, and we are here to receive it. There is another way to think about all of this. The cosmic horizon is not a failure of technology or imagination. It is simply a property of the universe we live in. Just as a planet has gravity, or light has speed, an expanding universe has horizons. We often like to imagine that there are no limits, that anything is possible if we try hard enough. But physics is not a story about unlimited possibility. It is a story about structure, laws, patterns woven into reality. And within those laws, the universe shows us what can and cannot be done. This does not make the universe smaller. If anything, it makes it feel more real. We are not living inside an abstract infinity. We are living inside a specific, measurable cosmos, one with rules we can discover and understand. In that sense, the horizon is not a barrier. It is a clue. It tells us that space is not static, that time and distance are intertwined, that the universe we see today is only a temporary snapshot in a much longer story, and that we, as observers, occupy one brief chapter in that history. Some might find this unsettling. The idea that most of the universe is unreachable and always will be can sound lonely, but there is another way to look at it. The fact that we can even understand this, that minds made of starborn atoms can figure out the structure of spacetime, is astonishing. We are not just floating through the cosmos blindly. We are observing, measuring, thinking, discovering. Tiny conscious beings, aware not only that the universe exists, but that it expands, that horizons form, that reality itself has a shape, and that awareness changes everything. It turns the night sky from a backdrop into a story written in light, a story that began long before us and will continue long after we are gone, a story whose chapters stretch beyond the horizon, even if we will never read them directly. So when we talk about the part of the universe we can never reach, we are not talking about loss. We are talking about context. We are acknowledging that our place in the cosmos has limits, and that those limits are part of what makes it real. We do not need to go everywhere to feel connected to the universe. Connection comes from understanding, from curiosity, from the quiet realization that we are part of something unimaginably vast, and yet still governed by simple, elegant physical laws. And that may be the greatest discovery of all, that the same laws shaping distant galaxies also shape us. In the end, the cosmic horizon is a reminder of scale. Human history is measured in centuries. Civilizations rise and fall over thousands of years. Planets evolve over millions. Stars live for billions. And the universe itself unfolds over timescales so vast that language almost fails to describe them. Across those immense stretches of time, expansion slowly separates the universe into isolated regions. What feels permanent to us is only temporary to the cosmos. Even the sky itself is changing, not quickly, but inevitably. Galaxies that are visible now will one day slip quietly beyond the horizon, leaving no trace except in ancient records. To future observers, the universe will seem smaller and simpler. They may believe that only one galaxy exists. They may conclude that space is static and eternal. The great cosmic expansion, the true nature of reality, will be hidden from them by the horizon of accelerating space. And yet, right now, we stand at a privileged moment, a moment when the universe is still readable, when the sky is still rich with galaxies, when light from the distant past still reaches us, carrying the story of creation across unimaginable distances. We may be small, but our perspective is vast. We can look outward and see billions of galaxies. We can look inward and understand atoms and particles. And somehow, these two extremes meet in the same set of physical laws. The universe is not random. It is structured, elegant, and astonishingly consistent. So, when we speak of the part of the universe we can never reach, we are not mourning a loss. We are recognizing a boundary, one that tells us something deep about the nature of spacetime. It reminds us that reality is larger than our direct experience, and that there are regions forever beyond our influence. But beyond that horizon, the universe continues. Stars form, planets orbit, galaxies collide, entire cosmic histories unfold, unseen and unreachable. The universe does not end at the limits of what we can touch, only our involvement does. And somehow, that makes it even more mysterious. And yet, despite all of this vastness, meaning remains local. It is here, on our small planet around our ordinary star, that consciousness awakens, looks outward, and begins to understand. The horizon may define the edge of what we can reach, but it does not define the edge of what we can know. Knowledge crosses horizons, even when matter cannot. Light carries information from distant galaxies. Equations describe regions we will never visit. Our imagination fills the silence beyond the cosmic boundary. In this way, the universe becomes not just a place, but an idea. In this sense, the cosmic horizon is not a wall blocking us from the rest of the universe. It is more like the fading edge of a story that continues beyond the page. Just because we cannot turn that page does not mean the story ends. It only means we are not characters in those distant chapters. And perhaps that is enough. We do not need to stand beneath every star to feel connected to them. We do not need to visit every galaxy to appreciate the scale of the cosmos. Simply knowing that they exist, that the universe is larger than our reach, can fill us with a deep and lasting sense of wonder. Wonder is not about ownership. It is not about control. It is about recognition. The recognition that we are part of something vast, ancient, and beautiful, and that our awareness of it gives our brief existence a special meaning. For a moment in cosmic time, the universe knows itself through us. So the part of the universe we can never reach is not a source of frustration. It is a reminder of humility. It tells us that we are not at the center of everything, that the cosmos is not arranged for our convenience, that we are simply one expression of a universe far larger than our own horizon. And yet, within that small place, entire worlds of meaning exist. Love, curiosity, creativity, hope. All of these arise in the tiny corner of space-time we call home. The horizon does not diminish these things. If anything, it makes them feel even more precious, set against the vastness of the cosmic backdrop. One day, the light from distant galaxies will fade beyond our sight. One day, the universe will grow quiet and dark. But today is not that day. Today, the sky is still filled with ancient light. And today, we are here to see it, to measure it, to understand it, to feel awe beneath it. In the end, the universe does not owe us accessibility. It does not promise that everything can be reached, touched, or explored. What it offers instead is existence itself, a reality so vast that even its unreachable parts still shape our understanding, still expand our imagination, still remind us of how small and how extraordinary we are. And perhaps that awareness is the real gift. Not the ability to go everywhere, but the ability to know that everywhere exists. So when we look up at the night sky, we are not just looking outward. We are also looking toward the edge of what is physically connected to us. Beyond that edge lies a universe that will forever remain out of reach, not because we are weak, but because reality itself is built that way. The cosmic horizon is not there to frustrate us. It simply reminds us that our perspective is finite, that there will always be more universe than we can directly touch or explore. And yet, Within that limitation, we have built telescopes, models, and theories that allow us to glimpse the shape of the whole. This is one of the most extraordinary facts about our species. Even though we occupy a tiny world orbiting an ordinary star, we have managed to understand the behavior of galaxies billions of light years away. We have learned that space expands. We have learned that horizons exist, and we have learned what they mean. They mean that the universe is not simply a place through which we travel. It is an evolving structure with rules and limits, and we are part of that structure. Our thoughts, our questions, our science, and our wonder all exist inside the same spacetime that shapes galaxies and horizons. And when you understand that, the night sky feels different. It is no longer just a collection of distant lights. It becomes a map of time, distance, gravity, and expansion. A living record of a universe that is still unfolding. Some of it within our reach, and much of it beyond. But the fact that so much of the universe is unreachable does not make our existence smaller. If anything, it makes it more meaningful. Because in this small, temporary window of cosmic history, we are able to look outward and understand the structure of reality itself. We exist at a moment when galaxies still fill the sky, when the evidence of cosmic expansion is still visible, when the story of the universe can still be read in the faint light arriving from the past. One day, that light will fade. But today, right now, it is still here. And so, when we speak about the part of the universe we can never reach, we are not talking about limitation. We are talking about perspective. The horizon is not the end of wonder. It is the beginning of understanding. In the quiet space between galaxies, the universe expands, slowly, silently, endlessly. And somewhere inside that vastness, on a thin film of atmosphere, wrapped around a small rocky world, a thinking species looks up and begins to understand. We learn that space is not static. We learn that time and distance are woven together. We learn that the universe has horizons, not because someone placed them there, but because this is how an expanding universe behaves. And this knowledge changes the way we see everything. The part of the universe we can never reach does not belong to us, and it never will. But that is not a tragedy. It is simply the structure of reality. We are not the owners of the cosmos. We are its observers, its storytellers, its temporary witnesses. And being a witness is enough, because to witness means to understand, and to understand means to be connected in a deeper way than distance can measure. Even if we never touch those unreachable galaxies, we are still linked to them through gravity, through light, through the shared history of the Big Bang. Every atom in our bodies was forged inside ancient stars. Every star was formed inside galaxies. Every galaxy traces its existence back to the earliest moments of the universe. So even though we are confined to one small corner of space-time, we are still made of the same universe that stretches beyond every horizon. In that sense, nothing is truly separate. The unreachable parts of the universe may lie beyond our physical influence, but they do not lie beyond our origin. We are connected not by travel, but by history, by the simple fact that everything we see and everything we cannot began together. So when we think about the cosmic horizon, that invisible boundary beyond which no message will ever return, we can see it not as a limit, but as a frame around our place in the universe, a reminder of scale, a quiet boundary that tells us, this is the region where your story unfolds. And inside that frame, life has appeared. Intelligence has awakened. Questions have been asked. Meaning has been created. For a brief moment in cosmic time, the universe is aware of itself, here, through us. We may never cross the cosmic horizon. We may never reach most of the galaxies we can see, but we do not need to, because our significance does not depend on distance traveled. It depends on understanding, on curiosity, on the simple, beautiful act of looking up and asking what lies beyond. And so, the unreachable universe remains out there, silent, distant, and forever beyond our grasp. But it is not beyond our wonder. And as long as we keep asking questions, as long as we keep observing, as long as we keep listening to the faint light that reaches us from the past, The story of the cosmos continues to unfold, right here, in the space between thought and starlight.